Hello everyone, Leon Shore here, and I hope you are ready for this. I hope you have 35 minutes to spare. Hope you're not busy, hope you're not doing anything. There's already one of my cats in the catwheel. I have a lot to say about that specific catwheel actually. And I'm rocking the new Greymane light armor. Absolutely adoring it. And yeah, so let's get into things. So starting, a little bit on the outside. Well, first let's talk about the catwheel. So there were two options: the Pailune catwheel and the Marnie catwheel. I only had two options. Those are the only two options we have. I decided to go with the Pailune for reasons that I will explain even more coming up here in a bit. But yeah, I just can't get enough. I love this new Greymane light armor at the contribution shop. I'm so glad they added it. I don't know. I didn't even know it existed in the game files or any of that. But anyway, so starting out here, actually the very first thing that I put down was the Pailune catwheel. And I was at first thinking, should I move it back a little bit? Because I knew I had plans to put things behind it for sure, and I'll show you those in a moment. But all I know is that from the moment that I put it down, the two cats that I have immediately started using it and just never stopped. They just like never get off of that wheel. So I was like, I'm not moving this thing. It's perfect where it is. Okay, so far, what I wanted to do, now I have absolutely every single blueprint for all of the new outdoor items, and I've purchased all the new carpets and things purchasable. But I did not want to go crazy out here, okay? I didn't want to be putting things just wild, like all over the place. Like, for example, like I said, I went with the Pailune cat house because I just felt like it was more natural, more wooden. I did not get the Marnie music box because this is Pailune, and by the way, this is one of the unique cats. This is a one-of-a-kind cat that can only be obtained in the game in one particular area, and it does not respawn. I'll tell you guys about that. It's not a kitten. It's actually named cat, but it's the size of a kitten, and it's one-of-a-kind. I love it. Anyway, I didn't want this to be like Marnie World. We have the arcade, the game room in Delicia, and this is Pailune. Post-epilogue, I'm in the post-game. I didn't want to go too crazy out here. I wanted to keep things lore-friendly. For me, immersion is all about trying to keep things as natural as they could. I walked all over Pailune City. I looked at all of the wells, and I looked at the architecture, of course. The one thing that I went with was the pagoda style fountain, and even though that's kind of more of a Varnia pardon me, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, creatures of the earth, sorry, didn't mean to cough in your face. That's more of like a Varnian, northern part of the region of the Crimson Desert, but when I put that thing down, I tested several of the wells, actually all of the wells. None of my animals got in the water. But the moment that I put down the pagoda-style well, all of my birds, my animals, my fox, my husky, they were all getting in it, playing in the water, and I was like, this just has to stay. So anyway, back to what I was saying. So everything about the Greymanes just points to being inspired by ancient Scandinavian, ancient Norwegian, Viking culture. It just screams that in the architecture, in the face paint, in the outfits that the Greymanes wear, and your comrades wear, and your provisioners wear at camp. You know, it's everywhere with the Celtic knots and the dragon figurehead, stave church style. I mean, this is the Greymanes. You know, they're the tribe of the wolf, and you know, everything just screams Viking, and if not Viking, then ancient Pict style. A tribe that were very similar to the Vikings, but in Europe, the Romans tried to conquer them long time ago. So anyway, maybe you guys are completely different, you know, and you just want to go hog wild and hang magical lights and street lights and glowing things. But you know, immersion for me is, and it's actually a chore, you know, to try to do it. To try to keep things as, you know, matched up to Pailune City, the Pailune region. Yeah, I only have 2 cats total out of all 30 plus of my pets. And both of the cats have already been in that catwheel since the beginning of the video. So I have 2 sodtays, 2 fountains, a mini fountain, this one here. I've put 2 hanging basket planters there right in front of the archway. The one sodtay is the pheasant sodtay. The other one is the I think it's called the multi-platform sodtay. And so yeah, wow, there's Mr. Phoenix just up there. Why don't you go perch on the new sodtays? I think that just about covers it. Like I said, I didn't want it too crazy. The well that I chose to go with the thatched roof well, because out of all the wells in Pailune City, they're always carbon copies of the same well, and that's the red wooden plank roof well. But all throughout Pailune City, if you walk up and down and everywhere, you will find buildings with thatched roofs. So I went with that for my well. And yeah, like I said, didn't want to go too nuts outside. So now let's go ahead and go in. And sorry about the UI and the HUD. I'm on Xbox. We don't have the ability to disable that yet. So coming in, what I wanted to do was not just open the door and just start beelining it straight ahead. I wanted to come in, turn around, and show you guys, you know, what's behind us first. Guys, I have the last time I checked, 782 hours in this game. And I reckon a good 100 out of those 782 hours was in this house design altogether total. For me, I don't know. I became so immersed in it and addicted to it. By the way, I can't believe I haven't mentioned this already, but 500, I believe, is the max cap of items that you can place both inside and outside. They all count, and the maximum amount of objects from the smallest of candles to a giant piece of furniture counts as one object. I'm at 500 out of 500. I cannot put another single thing down, which is fine. I am done. I wouldn't be making this epic long video if I didn't feel like I was completely finished, done. With my carpets, rugs, furniture, objects, knickknacks, placements, paintings, you name it. By the way, these weapon boxes that you're seeing, they are obtainable. If you guys want to know where they are, I can tell you where they are, but they are non-functional. They are house decoration only. You cannot store anything inside them. So, I want to talk about this great haul that I wanted to try to create. These 3 tables that you see right up against each other like this, guys, I have been to every fancy manor in Pailune. I've been in every castle, and out of every single one that I've been in and looked at their great big dining tables and banquet rooms and areas, they've all set up their long tables just like that. They have placed 3 or 4 long tables up against each other just like that. Yeah, so I did the same, not because I wanted to copy everything else going on in Pailune, but we don't have any furniture available at all that is just all connected, like all, a large long table with like bench seating, like picnic style table, So I love it. I think it worked out tremendously. So that chalice there that we were just looking at, that I put all the little candles around, that is one exclusive item that you can only get from taking down a particular legendary animal. And so every item, just about, I've taken down every single legendary. I have taken out every single legendary animal in Pailune in the game. Every special trophy, house decoration awarded from each legendary animal has been utilized in this home. I think about 99% of them have been, with the exception of 1 or 2, because I just didn't like the aesthetic, right? Like I don't have the gigantic unicorn glass art anywhere because it's just so huge. It takes up so much room. So yeah, like I said, I was doing my very best now, and this was difficult. With the red, like the barnyard red kind of paint. This wasn't easy, trying to utilize the darkest of, pieces of furniture and things like that, so that everything just looked natural. Now, that's a medium-sized globe. I don't have 2 identical globes. I have the large globe and the medium globe. And that's it. I didn't fill the house up with globes. But, yeah. So, all the paintings that you're seeing are the most rare paintings in the game. Actually, they can only be obtained via dispatch missions to the sun. No. Where is it? Not the Sunset Dye House, because that's for dye, but anyway, they can only be obtained from a dispatch mission, and you have to put it on repeat and just keep waiting, cycle day after day after day for some of the magnum opus paintings. Literally, that's what they're called, to come through. It takes a good long while. The moose antler chandelier, that's another example of one of the legendary animals that only can come from that. So for the main hall, the great hall dining area, I wanted to keep it like a mix of twilight colors and icy white. And on into the kitchen / dining room. Now in here, I wanted icy white to be the predominant color with a little mix of twilight. The reason for that is because I wanted to make the dining room a little bit, more on the theme of alchemy and, like witchy things. So I thought, icy white would be okay. A little bit of magical things. I have a lot of dyes placed around, of course, dyes that I've already used, but I've gotten duplicates and extras. And so this is another piece that can only come from one of the legendary animals. I think it's the legendary elk, not the moose. I forget. I actually forget all the legendary animals, but yeah, nothing I mean, I'm meticulous. I found an hourglass, by the way. I can tell you guys where you can, yes, pick up an hourglass, have it in your inventory, use it as a decoration in your home. I can tell you where you can obtain that. I forget what I was saying, but eventually I'm going to remember that dispatch mission. But yeah, everything meticulously placed, you know, nothing thrown together or slapped together. I mean, I spent a lot of time on this. Guys. So I really hope you're liking it so far. I spent a lot of time at the claw machine going for the specific, you know, wall-mounted lighting, the sconces, and, you know, all the particular specific ones I wanted. And yeah, I am really pleased, and at the same time very relieved that it's over, that I'm finally done. Have everything exactly where I want it to be. Now I can just focus on other things, and I really do feel accomplished. Nothing is subject to change. Actually, what's hilarious is at the end of the video, if you make it all the way to the end, there's a really funny bit for you where I did change something and then I clipped it in at the end. Oh yeah. Yeah. I did go a little nuts at the cooking stations, but I mean, there was just so much room to put knickknacks and things. And when you're at cooking stations, you're gonna need oils, you're gonna need bottles, you're gonna need vials and herbs and spices and all these, you know, things, water, you know, things for adding into your mixtures, and you know, so yeah, that's why there's so many objects on the cooking stations. But this is you know, the style house that I wanted to go with, that I absolutely just needed to go with. It matches the aesthetic. I mean, if I had chosen any other house style layout, it just wouldn't have worked in the Pailune camp. I just don't feel like it would. I think it would have stood out like a sore thumb if I hadn't gone with the barnyard, you know, red brick style. Plus, I think it's the largest layout, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong. This one in particular. And so yeah. Let's go into the bedroom. So, two things that all the house styles are missing is, one, a toilet. So there's my chamber pot, like the Victorian era England style, you know, to do your business in and throw it out the window. Literally, that's what they did. Hence the expression, pot to piss in, window to throw it out of. So I have my chamber pot over there. The bed that I chose, I did not want the canopy style bed. I thought it was way too overpowering, way too just bulky, huge. As a side note, this is another piece of lighting that you can only get by taking down a certain legendary animal. So please go out and get those. They're so worth it for the house decorations. This included as well the round table that you see and the lamp that's on top of it. The lamp and the table both come from legendary animal kills. So definitely worth it to get out there and take those down. So yeah, I think, you know, for having placed a grand total of the max cap, I think it's 500 objects. Maybe it's 3, but I think it's 5. But anyway, for placing the max cap of objects you can place, I think I did a decent job in the way of not having it overcrowded And I'll be going into third person later, showing you that the house is fully nav meshed, so you don't get caught up on anything. You can actually sprint around, believe it or not. And so yeah, the dream catcher there, again, only from a legendary animal. I forget which one, but I'm happy to answer any and all questions in the comments if I get any. I'll look it up. I'll look them up for you and let you know. But the canopy bed, I just thought it took up too much space. Same with overhead lighting, like hanging lighting for the bedroom and the dining room both. I wanted to keep it simple because in the Great Hall area, I have, you know, the giant antler hanging lamp, so I'm not going to put big, huge chandeliers in here from the ceilings. And I do like these that, well, we just looked at one from the ceiling. I like the ones with like the bent kind of rustic iron look around. Now, like I was saying about keeping things, you know, all things Viking and doing the best I could to accomplish that, we do have to remember Marnie. I mean, in this game, like, the technology is an unavoidable part of this game. It just really is. So unless you're willing to just put crystals everywhere and lamps like these without any wall mounted lighting or ceiling lighting or anything, you are going to have to, you know, remember that electricity exists, and that's just a part of it. Just got to accept it. So it's a mix of going back outside. It's just an interesting mix of, you know, trying to balance the two. Another thing I forgot to say earlier, my mind is drawing a blank right now. Oh, the phoenix is on top of one of my flower planters. Not on one of the sod days, but one of the flower planters. That's interesting. Oh, yeah. The house is missing a toilet, and it's also missing a fireplace. Has anybody else been a little, like, befuddled by that? I mean, a large house with no hearth, no fireplace for heating. I mean, a fireplace, wood burning, a chimney outside with smoke. There are other buildings, plenty of other buildings all over Pywell, you know, with chimneys, fireplaces inside, smoking chimneys. I do not want Pearl Abyss to add them. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so done with this. I mean, like, yeah, I'm finished. I'm finished with the outside, the inside, the positioning, the spacing, the straining of my eyes to make sure everything, the symmetry's perfect. At least for me, to where I'm satisfied. Yeah, I don't want anything else added in. Another thing I was thinking for the outside that would be cool is like a little horse stall. Not a stable. I'm not talking about a stable, but like just a single horse stall that you could ride your horse up into and park in there, and maybe it might have a little watering trough. That phoenix just has not moved. Must really like the flowers there. Interesting that. But yeah, guys, I mean, I just fell into this and fell so just in love with it. And I really got hardcore back into it with the new additions of, and like I said, I went out there, I spent about 12 real life hours, back to back, 2 6-hour play sessions, not PlayStations. This is Xbox. Play sessions, 2 days, both 6 hours, so about a total of 12 hours, just trying to seek out and find all of the blueprints. And a huge shout out and thank you to UnyPhi, I believe his YouTube channel is, UnyPhi UnyPhi. He is the first person that actually posted a video showing the exact locations of all 50 plus blueprints for everything. So, okay, in third person mode now, just showing you guys that, you know, it's not too crowded. I mean, it's nav meshed well. You can walk around freely. You don't get hung up on anything, caught up on anything. You can actually run around, sprint around, and it's all good. Now, the chairs, I mean, these chairs can be sat on easily. Let's close the windows. Check out the lighting in here with all the windows closed. Yeah, the chairs on the side lining the walls, those can be interacted with, sat in. But the chairs, you know, just like any great, huge, like, well, not huge, it could be bigger, but great hall, you know, you push in the chairs till they're ready to be used, you pull them out. I mean, it's just kind of natural, immersive in that way. This is called the White Knight's Throne. This chair, this throne, it's called a throne. It can only be obtained by taking down a specific legendary animal. So be sure to get it if you like it. It's got the antler style decor going on with it. I just adore it. Some of the rugs that you're seeing were newly added in the newest patch, 1.12. And the hotfix. So, but not all of them. Some of them were already existing in the game in patch 1.11 and before. So yeah, this third person. And so yeah. Oh, about lighting, another thing. Let's go into the kitchen again. There, yeah, the ceiling, same exact style ceiling mount light as the bedroom, except it's icy white in here. Lilac lighting. I don't know about you guys, but I'm only a fan of the twilight lighting and the icy white. The third option, the lilac, which is like a purple, it just reminds me of like nightclub lighting, you know, like, or like I don't want to get in trouble for this, but like strip club lighting. I just did not like it. Lilac lighting in this house, just not for me. But sorry if I've insulted like 80% of you by saying that, but just personal preference. So I just wanted to show that despite all of the crazy knickknacks everywhere, the cooking griddle and the cooking pot are completely, you know, functional. No problems, no collision, no nav mesh issues. And yeah, I wanted to let you guys know that the Cuckoo cooler there, I have it placed set back a little bit for a reason, and the obvious reason is the swinging door. I mean, when you open it up, I wanted to position it in such a way to where when you opened the cooler door, that the door, when it fully opened, it wouldn't swing out further than, you know, I had the how far out the griddle and cooking pot comes out from the wall, if that makes sense. Yeah, so I placed it kind of in the center, but a little further. I'll show you that here in a bit, because I actually forgot to open the door. I'm trying to interact with all of the containers and things, and completely forgot to open that door. But I do end up splicing it in here in just a bit, right here towards the end. So here's the sturdy gatherables chest. So, you know, nothing's so overcrowded that you can't, you know, easily access all of your storage. And yeah, like the only kinetic items that I put in were the ones that I liked. Glass art as well, like there, the humpback whale to the right there that can only be obtained from Legendary Animal. Here's the wardrobe. I don't have much in it yet. I have to transfer so much out of my personal storage into these other storage units. It's ridiculous how much sorting I need to do. But glass art included, only what fit my taste. So, and like I said, it was a personal choice not to go with the Marnie music box, and I didn't want everything to be, I've always been a huge Witcher fan and Elder Scrolls fan in the past, all my life, medieval type style, Kingdom Come Deliverance and on and on. I've never been a huge sci-fi person with robots and laser beams. So, like I said, I tried to balance the electricity with the rustic, Nordic, or ancient pick style best I could. And the bench seating there, I love that. I really wish that the finish on it, I'll sit on it here in a moment, but I really wish it were darker. But that I've been to every shop. See, you can just run around in here, no collision. It's all good. Every furniture shop, this one right here, and raised their trust to 100 and gotten all of their contracts. This seat. I mean, you can purchase it from your camp vendor or the one that it originally came from. It's a one-of-a-kind little bench seating type seat, but it has such a light finish. I wish there was a darker wood finish than that. So this is the part of the video where I was planning on concluding it and saying bye-bye guys, thank you so much for watching. But at some point during making the video, I realized there's something I need to change. One final tweak and I can be at rest and I can finally be done. And it's coming up here in a moment. Yeah, I was about to say goodbye, thanks for watching, but yeah, while I was recording the clips and things, I noticed it and I was like, I've got to change that. So what I changed was this in the bedroom. The lamp over there on top of the little round table. What I did was I didn't move it at all. I just rotated it about 40 degrees. Because I realized that that was the only way to get that cross pattern like that to show. I had it turned to where it was like, to where that was vertical, and you couldn't see the T-shape formation. I didn't even know it was there till I, till I was making the video, and I was like, yeah, I need to rotate that. So I did like one little rotate, and that was it. So everyone, if you made it all the way through this, thank you for taking the time to do so. And I'm not here for, oh yes, here's what I'm talking about with the cuckoo cooler. That's why I positioned it the way I did, so that when I open the door, yeah, that's what I meant by meticulous and symmetry and spacing and everything. I mean, it's, oh man, you guys have no idea how many real life hours I spend in this home, and I enjoyed just about every hour of it. So just about. There were times where I was like, oh, I can't get that to fit, I really want that there, so on and so forth. But everyone who watched and made it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I really hope you like my home.